y'all, welcome back to a new video, or welcome to my channel if you're new. I'm Karrie Lynn, and today we are finally decorating and rearranging, just doing like a full makeover here in the new addition. This is my office slash family room, workout space, and laundry room. So it is a multi-use room, and I have not actually did a full decorate with me in this space since we finished it. And honestly, I don't know why it took me so long. I think it was just one of those things, the overwhelm of working on it for so long, it finally being finished. And I was like, you know what, I can live with it being plain for a while and just enjoy the finished look. It was never my intention to rush in and hurry up and decorate it and style it perfect. It also cost a lot of money to get this project complete. And then once we finished this, we moved right out to finishing up outside. We made the pool deck and then the porch, and it took so long. And ultimately that's why the decorate with me portion took so long, and I'm finally here. So it's gonna be great. I'm gonna share all that with you guys today, but in case you missed all those videos, I will have a playlist down below, but just to give you a quick recap, we actually added this 12 by 25 foot steel building to replace two old sheds, or actually the one shed was our laundry room, and we had to have that torn out and replaced because our laundry room was like, the floor was caving in. It was completely rotten. And when we bought the house, the shed was already in rough shape, and we knew eventually it would have to be, you know, fixed up, but we never got around to it. And it got to the point where it was so bad, there was no saving it. So we were like, you know what, if we're gonna tear that out, we'll get rid of the old shed, we'll go ahead and just add the steel building, and then we'll slowly frame it out, add drywall, and we'll do it all ourselves affordably. And we did that. And we honestly, I think we killed it. I think we did an amazing job. I love this space. It just needs some work. It needs some love and attention to make it feel a little bit more homey and a space that we want to actually spend some time in. So we're gonna get started. I'm actually gonna clear the space out first. I'll give you an overview of what we're working with, and then I'll show you some of the things that I have and what inspired this project initially as far as like the decor goes. Okay, let's start with the grounding piece. So this rug I actually picked last, which is kind of funny because I had a different rug picked out. And I actually used that rug as inspiration for all the other pieces. But then when it got to the very end and I was ready to go check out, I put everything together and I felt like the rug was too matchy-matchy, so I ended up switching it out for this one. So when it comes to picking out decor and matching your rug, I feel like it should match, but also not be like too matchy-matchy. My personal opinion, but I definitely love this rug because it's more neutral. I feel that this is gonna be a good staple piece to have for years. This will work as my style changes. If I decide to go with a different color, I think this, you know, will still work well. It has a little bit of orange, green, the beige, and yeah, it's just like a good neutral. I actually love the print of this rug as well. You'll see it whenever I get it all opened. I think it just has very subtle colors, but also colorful enough to where it's not too plain. You know, you don't want it to be plain Jane, but you also don't want it to be like too bold, especially if you're someone like myself that loves to refresh their space. So this is a great starting point. But yeah, that's the rug I ended up getting, and I paid $89.99. By the way, I left Ross with a $222 receipt, okay? I got so much stuff, so much, and the rug was included in that price. So I think I killed it as far as like decorating on a budget from complete scratch. The plan was originally to go thrifting, but when I found the stuff that I found at Ross, I just could not help myself. I got a lot. And I also got my daughter a rug too. Oh, this is the rug. This is the rug that I ended up getting for her. This is the Jessica Simpson rug. It's really pretty. She needed a new rug for her bedroom, and this one's washable. It's very thin, and I think this is a 5x7, so decent sized rug for the price. I paid $39 for this. Okay, I'm not gonna bore you with too much talking about each individual piece of art, but I'm gonna show you the things that I got. So starting off with this one, the colors in here are beautiful, but I also love how it still has like the gold frame, and I only paid $8.99 for this on clearance, you guys. When I saw this behind all the other frames, I was like, ooh, someone stuck these behind here to try to hide them, and I found them. Yeah. I got this one as well. It's just like a fun little print to have. I've always loved art like this, just very simple, clean lines. I think this is really good to have as like a modern piece to mix in with like antiques and like older art. I love to have like the modern look with the gold frame. So not yeah, $9.99. I got this one as well. This was actually an accident, but I'm gonna tell you what happened. I kind of panicked at the register. I had so much stuff in my cart, and then at Ross, they have these like long poles attached to the buggy, so you can't carry the buggy out. And everything was stacked so high that I couldn't tell what all I had already had. So now I already got the other art. This one I really didn't need, but it'll work because I love the different size variations. So when it comes to creating a gallery wall, I'm looking for all different types of art. I'm looking for vertical, horizontal, small frames, big frames. I want matted art. I want art that's just very colorful. So I was having fun, if you can't tell. And this was $8.99. So this is the next piece of art that I got. I paid $19.99 for this. This was a must-have because I love how large it is. I love the color. And this color is like a blue-green. It pulls really well into the rug. And I mean, it's stunning. You can't go wrong with a piece of art like this. So I got that. Now, I had all the art kind of piled up together, and I went ahead and took a look at the pillows. I needed something colorful for on the couch because our couch is beige in here. There's absolutely no color, so I knew that if I was going to put a fun colorful gallery wall on the wall, I needed something to help pull those colors around the room, and these pillows were perfect. On camera, I feel like they are coming off a little bit more like blue than they are. They're more of like a gray blue in person. I paid $19.99 for these, a little more than I would typically spend on throw pillows. But what's nice about this space out here is the dogs, they come out here but not like they do in the house. So my pillows will actually last, and I don't mind investing in pillows out here because this is where we come hang out, lay on the couch and watch movies and stuff, and I know the dogs aren't gonna ruin them. You know, that's just the truth. So yeah, I ended up with these two. Okay, this next piece reminds me of Honey. And if you guys didn't know, our dog Honey, we had to have her put down. She just reached an age where she was in pain and just not doing the greatest. And so really hard and sad. But when I saw this, I immediately thought of her. And I was like, you know what, this is a great way to bring her into our family room. So I ended up picking this up, and I love it so much. It also reminds me of my childhood dog, Cassie. My first dog that I had that was mine. So yeah, just a great photo. I think it just represents both of them very, very well. Very loyal, beautiful. I love this so much. And I had to have it. It was $24.99, which it actually, there was no price tag on it when I picked it up. I got to the register and they had to kind of run back and price match, but I would spend $100 on this. Like, I love it so much, and I think it's gonna be really cool to incorporate this, and it works really well. Sorry, it works really well with the colors of this one too. So I think somehow separating these on the gallery wall is gonna be ideal to bring this like warm, dark look in with the colorful, fun, bright look as well. So I love this, and I think it's just a great, great photo to have in like memory of Honey. Okay. So a bunch of little decor that I ended up grabbing. Not all of it is for out here, but I'm gonna use some of it out here and just kind of play around with some stuff. I also picked up this. It's like little boxes. There's one inside of this one as well. Actually, you know what? I never even opened this all the way up to see if they were supposed to sell me both like that. Part of me feels like they probably weren't supposed to. Probably not. Well, I got a really good deal. Oops. So yeah, $10.99, but it was wrapped up in here as if it was supposed to be part of it. So it wasn't my fault. I didn't ever open it all the way, and it actually had tape on the side of it. Hold on, I'll show you. Just so that way I can prove that I wasn't trying to steal. Look, see the tape on the side there? It was like taped shut with the other box inside. Maybe they just forgot to open it in packaging. I don't know. But I ended up getting two for the price of one. I got two of them for $10.99. I'm obsessed with birds. So I ended up getting the swan. And then I got these with the marble base as well. Like I said, they're not all for in here. I plan on using these throughout the house. I just love gold. I love it. I love gold birds. I really do. And this one actually has like a little candle holder, so you can put a candle in there. I just like it as just like a little sculpture. I have a lot to do, so let's clear the space. I'll give you an overview of what it looks like, and then we'll start bringing stuff in together. So here's just a good before of what it looks like typically when all that decor is not like spread out across the room. I am going to move this cabinet out of here first because I don't really love how this looks in here right now. I want to actually put my secretary desk over here. That way I have a space to come and work. So I'm actually gonna pull that in here first. All right, I'm getting the secretary desk pulled in here, and then I'm gonna work on clearing out this cabinet so I can slide it into the laundry room area. So now whenever you walk into the laundry room, there is this cabinet on that empty wall. Eventually it will not be there because that's gonna actually be a wall of cabinets and a countertop, which I ended up finding a countertop at a yard sale for like $75 for a really nice butcher block. So I'm so excited about that. I'll be working on that project hopefully within the next month or so, like the whole laundry room makeover. But for now, just until I find a new place to put this cabinet, which I'm thinking about putting it inside the house. We'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and pull this in here for now and get it out of the way. I wanted to take a quick moment and thank Hungryroot for sponsoring today's video and helping make this project possible. Today's video is sponsored by Hungryroot. I know y'all have heard me talk about Hungryroot before. It is a complete game changer at saving you time and helping you reach your health goals. Hungryroot plans all my meals and my groceries for the week, fills up my cart, and delivers right to my door, all while sticking to my budget and my personal preferences. Unlike any other grocery delivery service, Hungryroot has over 50,000 chef-created recipes to choose from, and most of them you can make in under 15 minutes, which is even better if you were on a time crunch, like myself, most of the time. I really love utilizing Hungryroot for lunches. I think it just makes my life so much easier to have my lunches planned out. It keeps me from eating out, which I really appreciate. First thing out the box is the recipe card. Now this is important because I always like to clip this on the back of my fridge, or the back of my fridge, are you kidding? The side of my fridge so I can see it. It has the ingredients for each of the meals. You can also scan the QR code here and actually see the recipe, which I really like that. And it does give you a basically like a grocery list here along with the expiration date. Why am I struggling to talk? Ma'am, are you okay? So yeah, and then it gives you like little fresh tips, cooking tips, safety tips, all the good things. Definitely keep this card when you open your box. You're gonna need it later. Everything comes in a box like this, and then under here is where they put all the proteins along with ice packs. So everything's gonna stay nice and cool. Let's start off with all the proteins and then we'll get into everything else. So starting off, we have some grilled chicken. Now we have grilled Mediterranean chicken, and then we have seasoned grilled chicken breast, some ground beef patties, ground turkey, a shallot, garlic, 4 cheese tortellini. Let me tell you something. This is so darn good. So the last order I got, y'all, I tore this up. Dylan tore it up. He even added like more parmesan. Okay, so here's what we did. We split it in half, and we used half of it to make like our own Alfredo, and then use this. Oh my gosh, it was so delicious. So if you get an order, make sure you order these. This is the 4 cheese tortellini, gluten-free. Love those. I also got some French bread, Swiss cheese. We have organic olives. Have a little taco seasoning packet here. This is probably for the ground turkey wraps, I'm assuming. And then we have organic ranch, sharp cheddar cheese, pretzel buns. These are amazing too. Popcorn. This is super good. I like this for a snack. Then we got a tamale, a whole onion, a lemon. We also got some organic capers. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have never tried these, but they look like peas, like swollen peas. And then I also got some feta cucumber dairy dip, some rice cauliflower, and then I also got some tortillas, white flour tortillas. On the Hungryroot card, it tells you your items and then use within a certain amount of days. So whenever you are looking at whatever meals you want to cook, you want to try your best to use up the first items on the list, so within 5 days. So I could either have a tamale, I could have turkey wrap, or I could have a cheeseburger. Guess which one I'm gonna choose. If you guessed the cheeseburger, then you are correct. So we're gonna make a cheeseburger. I'm confident you're going to love Hungryroot as much as I do, and for a limited time, you can get 40% off your first box, plus a free item in every box for life. Just click the link down below or go to hungryroot.com and use code Karrie. That's 40% off your first box, plus a free item for life in every box using code Karrie. Thank you guys so much for trusting my recommendation. Let's get back into the vlog. Alright, so this is what I have set up right now. We have a secretary desk with a chair, but when we don't need it, we can close this up, simply move the chair out of the way so we have plenty of wall space, like if we have guests come over. But functionality wise, I think it actually looks really nice just having it set up like this. And then I think what I want to do is put a gallery wall here and then somehow kind of turn it around onto this wall as well. And then we'll style the rest of the space. But first we need to get the rug in. I think when I get the rug down, it's gonna really brighten it up because it is a beige rug. I think that's what the space is lacking. So we'll start with the rug. We'll go ahead and get that in place really quick, and then we'll move on. That way I don't have to move everything to put the rug back in. But I really like this setup. So I'm just gonna move this over here for now until we get the rug in place. Oh my gosh, I love it! I love it, I love it, I love it. The rug is in place. I'm going to go ahead and get the coffee table in here. Now I will go ahead and be very real. This coffee table needs to be completely redone. I need to sand it down, refinish it. I do have kind of an idea for this coffee table. I figured I'd go ahead and share with you. So the 4 wood vertical slats there, I'm actually going to cut those out. They're not there for support. They're actually kind of loose. I'd like to remove those, and then I want to sand the table down, either get it to bare wood and restain it to match the TV stand in here, or I'm going to paint it like a cream color. And honestly, I feel like painting it a cream color would be the best option, just because I already have a lot of wood tones going on in here. I definitely don't want to paint it black because I've learned over the years that black furniture is not for me with the dust. So I'm thinking like a pretty cream color, we'll see, but that is the idea for the coffee table. So try to like look past that a little bit today. It is something on my list of things that I either need to buy or redo. Okay, I'm going to start working on my gallery wall, but I'm actually going to do it on the floor first and play around with a couple different layouts before I start putting holes in the wall. Before I start putting things on the wall, I like to get a good layout done first by placing it on the floor. This way I don't have to start putting a ton of holes in the wall. However, I still put a ton of holes in the wall, but I learned something from Stephanie from the Little Blessed Nest, and that is to use tacks to get started with your gallery wall. Typically, the tacks, if you put them in at an angle, they actually will hold the pictures long enough to put nails in once you figure out a good layout. So that's what I did. Instead of putting like big holes in the wall or having to like nail in anything crazy, I just used some really good tacks, pointed down at an angle into the drywall, and it held all these pictures up just fine until I could go back and add nails, which I haven't done yet. They're still being held up by tacks, and they're fine. They haven't moved at all, so I think it's okay. The drywall that we have here in this building, especially on that back wall, is very, very durable. We actually use the purple drywall that's for a bathroom because that's where the HVAC unit was, and I wanted to use anything that was like mold resistant on that wall. So the drywall is like thicker than normal, and I think the tacks hold very well on that wall. So tacks might not work in everybody's drywall, but in mine they seem to work. Now when it came to this gallery wall, I went with a feeling. I didn't really follow like a typical rule of thumb of like this many pictures on this side, or, it needed to be symmetrical. Like I wasn't worried about that. I was going based off of how I felt when I looked at the gallery wall. I wanted it to be somewhat symmetrical, but also interesting. I didn't want everything to just be like perfect. I wanted this to look like a collected gallery wall. So that's kind of the look I'm going for. A fun fact, I love art. I actually love to paint. I love to draw. I don't do it near as much as I would love to because I'm busy and I have work to do and bills to pay, but I'm very passionate about art. And I think that's one of the reasons why when it came to the vision of this space, because I work out here and I edit out here, I wanted it to feel like something that I enjoy and I'm passionate that can inspire me, you know? So really that's what the whole vibe was for this room, but I also wanted it to feel the way that I've been feeling lately, which is very feminine, fun, energetic. So that's why I ended up going with a little bit more color than I ever decorate with. If y'all have been watching, the most colorful room in our house is my daughter's room, which actually has been one of my favorite spaces of the house, which is kind of interesting considering that the rest of the house is so neutral. I think what it boils down to is like, I don't know. I don't know why I don't decorate with more color in the main living space. Maybe I need to bring in more color because this makes me so happy. I'm gonna tell you what, this is like my favorite space to be right now that it's done, and I feel like it's the perfect amount of like feminine, but also at the same time it has that little bit of a masculine punch and a little bit of antique sprinkled in. I love that. And also like kind of mid-century too. I feel like the TV stand kind of gives that a little bit. I don't know. I love all different styles mixed together and I try my best to make it flow. But if it doesn't really flow to other people, that's fine too. As long as I like it, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And I will tell you, like my husband, first of all, let me just say this too. My husband never notices when I decorate. Never. He noticed this space. He called me actually and he was like, the space looks really nice in here. I'm like, oh, thank you. He noticed and he never notices anything. So that like really made me happy that of all the places and things that he really stood out to him, it was this room. So that was cool. Originally purchased a couple things to style the coffee table. Now, I really do not love the style of this coffee table in the new space. I think that something shorter and round would be ideal just because the space is kind of narrow, kind of similar to my living room in the house. I think that the round coffee table looks the best. But this coffee table actually lifts into a table as well, which is somewhere I also edit at. So like sometimes if I need a break from sitting in the office chair, I can sit at the couch and I can lift the table. We also can eat out here while we're watching TV. So having the lift table is ideal. I would love to find one that's maybe round that does the same thing. But I'm just going to do my best to style this space, although it's not 100% perfect. Like I mentioned 100 times, I do need to redo this table. It just hasn't been the right timing. So I'm just going to use what I can and do what I can for the space temporarily. I did end up changing it a million times. I just want to say that. And honestly, it doesn't even work out having anything on the table because it is somewhere we prop our feet up and stuff and the kids with the controller. So honestly, I might not even put anything on the table except for like maybe a bowl just for functionality purposes. But for decorating purposes, I'm trying to give you some inspo. So I'm just going to leave what I have. I also tried this large snake plant. Did y'all know that whenever we originally tore out the two sheds before we even built this whole building, I saved all these snake plants out of the ground and I threw them into a container with water. So there was just a plastic tote and I ripped all the snake plants up and I told Dylan, like, I am not about to let these die. And I threw them into water so that way they would survive until we were done like with all the moving around of like the landscaping and stuff. And at one point I never got around to planting them, so I just threw them into this large pot, and they have thrived and multiplied. And I have gotten so many babies off of this particular snake plant that I have an entire new one already. And I've even given some to my sister-in-law too. Like, the snake plant will always be a favorite of mine. So I ended up sticking it over here in the corner because I felt like it gave a good pop of color to this corner that I feel like it was lacking. I have dreamed of this space being cozy, warm, and fun, somewhere we can come and hang out as a family, but somewhere I can also come and feel inspired to edit. And yeah, I love how the space is coming together. There are some things I'd love to work on, of course, but I think this is a great starting point. I think it looks so beautiful. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me go ahead and give you an overview of how it all turned out. If you love seeing this space come together, don't forget to like the video. This will help my channel so much. And also subscribe if you're new. I share home updates, budget-friendly makeovers like this one. I share vlogs, homemaking, all that good jazz. And I also will go ahead and put the playlist down below where I shared the full transformation of this new addition. Us pouring the slab, having the building installed, us framing it out, drywall, the whole nine. We did almost everything ourselves except for the drywall. We did hire that out. But I share that in the playlist, you'll see. But anyway, I really appreciate you watching. Let me know what was your favorite part of this makeover, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye, y'all.